First of all, let's start with the rant, his rant about Ilhan Omar. And you tell me if you don't think this is some racist bullshit. Watch.
I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother.
Can we pause this? Again, that is a lie. She comes to this country and she's always saying the Constitution. Of course, she's an American citizen. She's also an elected official. Donald Trump's family are immigrants. What about Melania? Melania is an immigrant. Melania was complaining about Christmas. Don't get more American than that. Complaining about Christmas and Santa Claus, saying who gives a crap about that? I mean, should Melania go back to wherever she came from? And there are other immigrants in his family. Should his dad or granddad or mom or grandmother, should they go back to their country? And then there is no evidence that shows that Ilhan Omar married her brother, but yet he continues to spew this in front of people. And why does he not like her so much? Like, what did she do to him? He's always attacking black women, but I think he likes it because he knows it's going to fire up his base, fire up the racists in his base, the MAGA cult, and that's why he does it, because it's going to help him politically, he believes, with his support. That is dwindling. Let me tell you the reason that he's out on the road is because of his favorability rating down. People don't think he's doing a good job. Even members of the Republican Party, even his own supporters. So what did his staff say? You got to get back out on the road. You got to do a town hall. You have to start relating to people. In this thing, he says it. He gives the playbook away and says, man, my team says I got to get out on the road, when he talks about affordability and then calls it a hoax. But affordability is real. That's the reason he has his fat ass out there, is because people can't afford shit right now. But yet he goes on a rant about Ilhan Omar and Somalia and other countries that he deems to be shithole countries. Keep going.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump married his sister? Beautiful. She's a beautiful person. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
Wow. Guys, does this remind you of anything? Is that the end of it, Andy?
Yeah, that's the end.
Does that remind you of anything? Remember those rallies back in the day? Can we just hear the last part of that and look at him and look at them? This is like a freaking Klan rally. I'm just going to say it.
She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
Send her back. And they're screaming it. And people wonder why when I say, in order to be in the MAGA movement, either you're racist or you had to overlook a lot of racism. And so which is worse? That you didn't prioritize that racism isn't enough to make it disqualifying for Donald Trump to be president or to be a supporter of Donald Trump? No one can deny, if you look at that rally, that has, to me, that's reminiscent of the Klan rallies, of these racist rallies, of these neo-Nazi rallies. And that audience, as Jennifer just said in the chat, loves it. And I wasn't going to say the Klan rally at first, but it looks like a fucking Klan rally and saying, send her back, telling people to go back where they came from. Can you get more racist than that? As a matter of fact, Donald Trump says it out loud. It's not even quiet. He says he doesn't want people from countries like Somalia.
And we had a meeting, and I say, why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships.
Which is why part of the reason that we should support, excuse me, poor countries is for those reasons. The reason that we are not like those countries is because we're a democracy, something that Donald Trump is trying to get rid of. If left up to Donald Trump, we might be more like those countries, because those countries, as they kill each other, well, he's starting to round people, he's rounding people up off the streets without due process. Some have died in custody. He has shot and killed people in Venezuela through our military without any okay from Congress, without any oversight from Congress. And now people are looking at one of those or some of those as a possible war crime. But that's what he doesn't understand. The thing that separates us, that makes us distinct or distinguishes us from those other countries that are run by strongmen, dictators, authoritarians, despots, is because we are a democratic republic, is because we have a constitution. But he doesn't believe in the Constitution. He doesn't understand that if left to his own devices, and if we go down the road that Donald Trump wants us to go, we too could end up like Somalia. And if he continues to race and rage bait people and other people of color and women and call them piggy, we may too have a civil war in this country. That too incites violence and separation in this country. That too incites racism, like at that fucking racist rally that looks like a Klan rally. Do you agree with me with them cheering? It looked like a Klan rally to me.
Well, listen, skip everything but the pointy white hats. He was in there with the Ilhan Omar stuff. That was a very deliberate decision on his part for that audience in that room to stir that pot. Look, it's Nick Fuentes' party now, and even Donald Trump knows it. So his natural instincts to be a racist prick were on full display last night. And you know, it wasn't just Omar. It was also things like, oh, immigrants are taking 100% of the jobs. I'm like, well, I thought they were lazy. I thought they were all lazy people who were stealing our benefits, but they're taking 100% of the job. How does that work? Yeah, it was a shameful night last night. I really, yeah. And again, I have a pretty high threshold for what disgusts me about Trump because I've seen it all. It's all horrible. But last night was really, really messed up, man. It was horrifying.
It is. Do you think there's something going on with him? Someone says his dementia is getting old. Miller is a whisper. Look, I don't know if what's happening, but it does seem that something is happening with him. Is that fear? Is there cognitive decline?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. And one of the things you see in dementia patients is emotional dysregulation. And last night he was up and down. He was angry. He was happy. He was cursing up a storm. And I feel like there's a bit of this, like, let him have one last road show, put him out one last time. But I will say this, Don, as a guy with a lot of experience in politics, usually when you put these issue tours together to try to change the subject, the first one is always the best one. Because after the next time they put him on the road, he'll get tired, he'll get bored, he'll want to say something different, and the only way he knows how to behave is to get crazier and crazier and escalate the insanity all the time. He's not gonna be suddenly better tomorrow. He's not gonna behave. The next rally, he's not gonna like tell the truth about the statistics or go out and try to offer a solution to any of the problems that he caused. He's going to go out and lie more and attack more people. And I think the dementia is a big element of this. I also have a suspicion that the White House wants him out of the building.
You think so?
Yep. I think Susie Wiles wants him on the road so he's tired and not messing in all the things that they want to accomplish every single day. And it takes a lot of work to put these tours together. And it takes the advance team, the political office, the chief of staff, the press office, all those people to do all these things to ship him around the country. And it's exhausting. And they're never better. They get worse and worse over time. And normally they'll schedule we're going to do 12 cities, and they'll do 3 or 4 and then go, we'll get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's got the mental and physical stamina to do a national tour.
Well, if you could just listen to, again, look, we're not doctors. I'm just judging from
we just play one on TV.
Yeah, but his ranting and non sequiturs and whatever, and it's like, wait, what on earth is happening here?
Mm-hmm,
look, and I want to talk to you more about the economy, because he's telling people the economy's good, and then they sort of did some exit interviews at this. They did exit interviews at this rally, and people were leaving the rally saying Donald Trump is wrong about the economy, and he's telling people, look, you don't need $37 for your. I mean, what? With the disconnect, imagine if Joe Biden did that. You don't need to buy as much stuff.
Look, the world would, the Fox audience would melt down. They would storm the castle with pitchforks and torches. It would go completely crazy. Like, he's killing the American dream and killing Christmas. But the big lie here, that, as you pointed out, even those people that were leaving the building were like, yeah, I love Trump, but the economy sucks. It's terrible. It's one thing to spin your position and say, yeah, it's not great now. We're working hard. It's going to get better. It's another thing to say, don't believe that low balance in your checking account, or that high balance on your credit card, or those high interest rates you're paying. Believe me. And it's who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? And he tried that last night with a lot of the different stats he threw out there. And, far be it from us to have to go through the BS of fact-checking Donald Trump, because every one of them was a lie.
Every single one. And look,
every single one was a lie.
This is Donna. Donna's a waitress, and she spoke at the Trump rally last night, which is kind of odd that he had someone speak, but here it is.
My name is Donna, and I can't believe I'm up here on this stage. I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom who has lived in Pennsylvania for the past 20 years, and I've been a waitress all my life. Started when I was 15 years old. I've always enjoyed it and used to waitressing, made good money. But lately, my money doesn't mean to stretch that far. Pretty much everything I make goes towards paying the bills.
She's saying it at the rally.
At the rally. I mean, how is it? Well, Don, I have a theory of this. I want to get your opinion on this. I think somebody in the advance office, the White House advance team, or the White House chief of staff's office that planned this event, I think somebody's like a sleeper agent for the Lincoln Project, because you put Donald Trump in a casino to do a speech about affordability. I mean, it's insanity.
Sorry.
It's all right. That's all right.
He totally downplayed affordability last night in front of.
They'll call it a hoax.
Yeah, and he said, I can't say it. So I don't know if we have that soundbite, but he said, I can't call it a hoax because then they'll misconstrue it and they'll say that I'm making fun of it or whatever. But he said it is a hoax. And again, that's where he went to. You just have to cut back. I mean, something that, that austerity is something that usually happens in what? In authoritarian countries, right?
Right.
You have to cut back. It used to, that was kind of Soviet style things. Austerity.
North Korea.
Yeah.
eat
So what
bark off
gives
the
here?
trees.
Yeah.
Well,
So
look,
what?
he is caught even some part of Trump's tiny little lizard brain understands that he's there to spin and that the reality is terrible. He even his own pollsters aren't lying to him, because universally now, every single survey that's out there, public and private, they're saying, Andrew Wilson did a big analysis the other day. Every single public and private survey we've got our hands on, people blame him for this economy. The it's Joe Biden's fault thing does not work for anybody. And he's out there. He knows it's bad. He can't make himself admit defeat or that his tariff war was wrong. You want to change the economic vibe in the country? Donald Trump could do it. He could just wake up tomorrow morning and go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to roll with the tariffs back. That's it. We're done.
That's it.
And
that's what
people
he
would
needs to do.
forgive him. The economy would explode in a good way. The markets would go sky high, and but he can't admit defeat. His ego is in the way. It's his ego fucking with him, as Ving Rhames says in Pulp Fiction, and he should not let it do that. But he can't stop himself.
I love the Ving Rhames reference. You got it in there. That should be like when you take a shot or something. And you go,
right.
Ving Rhames. Here he is talking about the very thing that you were just discussing. Here it is.
And I said it the other day, and a lot of people misinterpreted it. They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. They always have a hoax. The new word is affordability. So they look at the camera and they say, this election is all about affordability. Now, they never talk about it. They never talk. Thank you very much. They say I'm not allowed to run. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's okay. He said 4 more years. You see the new hat? We have 4 more years.
I mean, it's crazy. By the way, just so you know, I don't know if it makes a difference, especially if there are Republicans or MAGA folks who are watching. Economic contraction in early 2025, the real U.S. GDP shrank by roughly 0.3% in the first quarter of 25, reversing late 2024 growth. That's when Biden was president.
Yep.
Consumer spending slowed sharply. Growth in consumer spending fell from about 4% at the end of 2024 to between 0.5 to 1.8% in early 2025, indicating weakened household demand. Tariff-driven costs increased across multiple sectors. The administration's broad tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China, and others raised input costs, disrupted supply chains, and contributed to a downturn in manufacturing. And then job growth, that you can't even call it growth.
No, it's
so
noise.
Nothing that he said was right. Nothing was accurate. But how does he get away with it? We know how he gets away with it.
Well, look, but Donna, here's the thing. Donald Trump had this superpower forever. We talked about this. I used to talk about this all the time on air. He would change the subject, but last night he couldn't change the subject. That's how big the economic overhang is in the minds of the public right now. They're pissed. They're hurting. It's bad. And Trump, that's why last night he was throwing out the racial attacks, throwing out the cursing at everybody, throwing out all the paranoid fantasy, the Fed's out to get me bullshit. All of it added up to a guy who can't defend the indefensible, and he doesn't have the superpower of changing the subject anymore, because every time he tries to defend this economy, he has to lie at a scale that even he can't really pull off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's really not much else he can do, and he's also worried. He's got the Epstein release deadline coming up in about 9 days. He's got terrible numbers for these Republicans that are running for office all over the country. And by the way, Don, if you were a Republican candidate watching that speech last night, you were calling Susie Wiles and saying, please do not come to my district.
Yeah.
Please not bring Trump to my district.
Called her Susie Trump.
Susie Trump, right.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.